I don't care how many years of experience you have, training is never beneath anybody.
And I love learning what the coverages do, not the technical words for it.
That's something that an employer may see and be like, okay, you have a little extra, you're in.
I do think training is definitely an investment that needs to be considered in your financial plan.
Hello and welcome back to all of our loyal listeners of the Agency Performance Partners podcast. It's me, Stephen Harrington Dakota, the diva of insurance, with all of your new favorite friends. Gina, hi, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Latoya, how you doing?
Doing great.
How about you, Miss Sarah?
Doing fantastic, kicking off January.
Kicking off January with commercial. So everybody, we need to pay attention. We need to listen close because commercial, as the market shifts, is going to bring in more premium and more reward, right? We know that the market's starting to soften at this point, not necessarily drastic lowering of premium, but it's starting to get a little bit lighter and easier in some areas. So we know we need to focus on larger revenue items to help balance some of that lower premium that's going to be coming in. So commercial is one of those secrets to higher revenue and stronger retention. I think we need to get a lot of our team comfortable about asking about risk, talking to our clients about what do they do and who owns the place they work for. Especially on the personal line side, like a quick review of, hey, what do you do? Oh, who owns that? You do? Oh, we have a commercial department, or I can help you with that. And our commercial clients, we need to cross-sell them personal lines, right? So there's all these adventures in place. But our focus for January is how do we get our team more confident and comfortable in commercial, whether they're new to the industry, new to commercial, or just wanting to learn more and expand their mindset. So I think it's going to be important we bridge the gap between I don't even know what a BOP is to, oh my goodness, here's a list of 47 things I'm checking because I'm an amazing person at this risk, right? So as we look at building a solid foundation and a training program for our team to get them comfortable with commercial, how do we begin the rookie phase? How do we set that foundation to set people up for success? Who has thoughts?
Well, I think first of all, the perfect foundation to start with is taking APP's commercial training insurance program from Rockstar.
I almost spit my coffee out on that one. Yeah.
That's like a perfect segue, to introduce your folks into being rock stars in commercial insurance. You definitely have to have that foundation. You definitely need to know what it is that you're working with when it comes to your carriers and everything. And you need to know how to effectively underwrite risk and everything. So this course is definitely something that'll give you that foundation that you need. It'll tell you steps how to go using templates, what you actually should be looking for in detail. And that way you're not missing anything along the way.
And I think one of my, since we're doing shameless plugs, I think one of the things that I love as well is our how to explain and sell top coverages, right?
Yeah.
I know I refer back to it all the time. I have 27 years experience in commercial, not commercial, just insurance in general, property, casualty, whatever. Just like y'all have lots of experience as well. But there's times where I'm like, wait a minute, what does that coverage do again? And I'm like, oh, we have a whole role play about it and what's covered and not, and all of these things. I think it's an amazing tool to give the team as well and be like, print these out, customize them, like share stories that you can relate to so you really learn the coverage.
I agree with that, Stephen. I don't care how many years of experience you have, training is never beneath anybody. It's always a useful tool, no matter what your level of experience is, because we can always, use the additional knowledge. The market always changes. Risks have changed. Buildings and everything are not built the same anymore.
Sarah, in your opinion, is perfection more important than confidence?
So I feel like confidence is extremely important just because it's built with a lot of practice. Confidence comes with practice and hands-on experience. Whereas perfection, we're all human. We all make mistakes every once in a while. So I feel like a lot of us have these lofty goals of being perfect at things, but it takes a lot of time for us to get there. So by building on our knowledge of commercial policies and having that experience of knowing, I passed my licensing test, so I know a bit about commercial, but if you've been on the personal line side, you really need to have that hands-on experience of knowing how your client is going to explain the coverage they need when they may not know the actual insurance jargon name of it. So it definitely having confidence to talk on the phone with our clients is something that's very important.
Well, and I will take confidence over like depth of knowledge any day, right?
Yeah.
I still run into situations where I'm like, awesome, this is a new one for me, and we're going to get through it together, my friends. But I need a day to think about it and do some research, and I'm going to get back to you with that.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, well, oh my goodness, oh my, yeah, that's the client's like, what are you doing? Like, why am I even working with you? Right? So sometimes we have to be confident in the fact we don't know as well, or that we need some extra support. But I think that going through, like you said, some role play or mentoring, really talking through it and doing the steps is going to help us get to that place. And I love learning what the coverages do, not the technical words for it.
Right.
Gina, do we need to know what remuneration is, or do we just need to know what it does so we can explain it to a client?
Just make it relatable to the client.
It's one of my favorite insurance words because it means lots of different things, by the way. But also stumps people when we're doing training about don't talk about the insurance word, talk about what it does. Right? Like liability. Nobody understands what liability is. You say liability and they're like, uh-huh. But if I'm like, so if somebody was to come onto your property and they slip and they fall in your restaurant and they sue you, you need liability protection, right? This is the coverage. It's going to cover your defense and for the loss if you were negligent.
Relatable scenarios.
Real relatable scenarios. So, Gina, how do we take it from I'm just getting a little more comfortable, I'm getting my feet wet, I'm starting to understand it a little bit better, to that next step? Like, how do we really get to that aspiring to be 100%?
I think checking in with your team and seeing what they don't know and how to help them get over whatever that hurdle is. Like they already have their base knowledge now, they have a little bit of an understanding, but how you can elevate it a little further now. So if that means teaming them up with a peer that may know a little more, have them take calls, do questionnaires with them, or if it's maybe watching some trainings or a quiz, something that can test their knowledge so you know how far to push them to the next level.
Ooh, I like that. What are our thoughts, Latoya? Anything you can add on or think of that we could do to help push them to that next level?
So I definitely feel like whenever it comes to knowledge, if somebody is used to writing like smaller risks, if you're ready to jump into that bigger pool, definitely look at what type of market it is you want to navigate. What type of risk? Let's look into those. Let's learn those specific coverages. And by doing things like that, it takes lots of research. It takes lots of additional courses that you need to take to drill down in those coverages specifically. It's all about education. It's all about continuing to learn, continuing to grow. So,
and I know when I started in ag when I started my career. So it's kind of a commercial personal hybrid when you're doing farm and some industrial. But I did that for years, and I worked at an agency where one of the owners hired a producer, and the producer was like from the 60s and 70s. Like the man was probably 70 years old in the early 2000s.
wow.
And he had his polyester suits and his big tie, and he had his little briefcase, and he would just write things down on a napkin, like the traditional old school producer. But I had to follow him around to learn more sales skills, right? Like I was good with farm. I was good with personal lines. I was still learning commercial to a point, but just some of that following around and just shadowing taught me a lot more confidence, networking tips. Like, how can I present myself professionally, even if I don't know the answers? I mean, this man didn't even know how to rate anything anymore. I did all the rating for him, but he'd come back and be like, cool, Bob's Construction's ready to bind. And I'm like, we don't have a quote or a price or terms or anything. He's like, it's all right. He likes us.
Commercial is definitely one of those fields where you have to be boots on the ground type. agent in order to be effective in this field. So you have to literally be able to walk that risk, touch it, feel it, smell it, see it. Like you need to understand what you're trying to do. And then once you start seeing like the same things, kind of like repetition, you start learning what it is you need to specifically look for. So I can definitely understand how you learn something different in it.
I mean, I also learned that we should probably fill out applications correctly and rate things appropriately. But that was also a learning tip, right? Like, oh, whoops, we didn't do this and now it's not bindable and we have a problem. Now we have to go tell the client we messed up. That's no fun either. And going back to Sarah's like confidence thing, I think that sometimes working together really helps build that confidence a lot, right? When somebody's maybe newer, but they understand basic coverage, but then they're partnered with somebody who has more experience, building them up to that next level.
Yes.
Sarah, how do we get to the advanced? Like, how do we master our skills in the world of commercial sales?
I think it's really important to start doing some strategic planning, right? We've talked about strategic plans a lot here at AT&T.
Yes.
It's really important that we're aware of our market conditions. We're anticipating our market shifts. It's really important to be able to convey that back to your clients, letting them know, hey, we have rising cybersecurity threats and we're having economic downturns and what that looks like in terms of your policy. So once you master kind of figuring out where we are in terms of our market shifts, you can lead your clients to make those educated decisions on how they want to tailor their policy to fit their needs. So I think that's really important once we've moved past the I'm an aspiring pro to becoming an advanced master at commercial insurance is definitely awareness of our market conditions.
I think we also need to take it to the like technology side as well, right? Like, how can I master things to help me do my job well? How can I dive deep into the true risk? How can I analyze contract A, B, and C versus what they currently have? And I think there's a lot of technology and tools available. I'm not saying we need to go buy fancy, fun things because they're shiny, but I think that once you get to that higher level of experience, you have the kaput about you to know here's where I'm strong, here's where I'm a little weaker, or if I do this, it's going to help me close even more. Right? So a true professional also knows where to use technology, where does the relationship come in, where do I need to be involved, and kind of how to align some of that. And again, a lot of it goes back to mentoring. It goes back to learning. I love continuing education, even though I'm not actively selling right now, right? I still keep my insurance license because I love to learn the new knowledge on what's happening. I want to know that I can go write a policy someday if I need to and be confident still in doing it. So I think where the rookies truly evolve into rock stars is through confidence, being proactive, being trusted by the client and the carrier, and really building all of those relationships and being a cornerstone of the agency. So can anybody think about things that might be help or reasons why some of our agent friends that are contemplating commercials should focus on growing their education or getting to that next level?
It can open up more doors for you professionally too. Just having that little extra notch in your belt for experience, things you can speak to, clients you can bring over. That's something that an employer may see and be like, okay, you have a little extra, you're in. It sets you apart.
I think a lot of people view training as an expense, but really we're building our employees. And in insurance, a lot of people buy from people because insurance can be a very hard concept to really grasp, especially when you don't work in it. So making sure that we are training our employees to make fewer mistakes and operate efficiently, then we definitely are driving higher revenue as well. So I do think training is definitely an investment that needs to be considered in your financial plan.
And I always love the conversation of what if I train them and they leave? And I'm like, what if you don't train them and they stay, right? Like it's kind of that double edged. And I think if we're doing it with the right intent or we're listening to what some of our employees want, it's not because they want to leave. It's because maybe they're getting bored or they're not challenged any longer or, but we need to know the why behind what they want to do as well, right? Like I was always one for education and training. And sometimes they'd be like, I want to do this. And my boss would be like, why? And I'd be like, because it's fun. And they're like, no, it's really not fun. And we're never going to utilize that. But if you can give me a couple reasons, we'll consider it. And I'd be like, no, I just really wanted to, whatever this was today. It just sounded fun. And other times she would come to me and be like, here's what you're going to do. And I'm like, I don't want to. And she's like, nope, here's why we're doing it. And I was like, fair enough, right? So for individuals, I think, again, faster career growth, higher earning potential, job security, satisfaction, knowing multiple levels of insurance and types of insurance. And for agencies, we can close more business. We can use the skills between personal, commercial, life, crop, whatever the heck we've got. A lot of the skills are universal and basic. We can also have fewer E&O issues because we're educating our team on what to look out for and how to do things properly. And at the end of the day, it leads to better retention and profitability. Who doesn't want more money as the market starts to soften, right? So we really need to think about some of these things. So we need to remember every insurance rock star starts out as a rookie. The ones who rise the fastest are the ones who train with a purpose. And a well-structured commercial insurance training program gives us confidence, the systems, and the mentorship to thrive. So whether you're learning how to sell commercial insurance, which is our new course that's launching, or how to explain coverages, another course that's available to you, the goal is the same: to help you and your team understand commercial insurance, sell it effectively, and serve clients exceptionally. Do we have any closing thoughts, my friends, before we close this one out?
I think investing in training, investing in knowledge is basically your tomorrow. You're investing in your future.
Yes. I was going to say something tacky, and now I'm going to say it. Grab your guitar and get on the stage, because if you're going to be a rock star, the only thing holding you back is the skills, right? So let's get you there. Let's get you to where you want to be and get you confident and comfortable in commercial and coverage in general. All right, guys, until next time, we will see you then.